The reason these exist is because we're only going to really do these for brands that we have designed. So we have clients all the time reach out and ask like, hey, can you run my social? Hey, can you do this postcard? Hey, can you just do this one spin-off effort? And we usually say no. And the reason is we want to make sure that the ingredients that we're cooking with are the ones that we helped pick out. It's really can get into a little bit tricky water to start messing with brand designs outside of what we know to provide, that we're giving you quality product. So quality input is quality output. Greetings and welcome back to the Kiss My Aesthetic podcast. I can't wait to share with you the episode for this week and really for the whole year, which is going to be all the ways to work with us in the year 2025. 2025 will be our 11th year in business, if you can believe it, and the business has evolved a lot since then. So I always like to record this type of episode to really give you an idea of everything that we offer and how you might be able to work with us and our team and some of our creativity. So maybe you're a client, maybe you're also a designer and you're looking for ideas, or you just kind of need a refresher on how best to refer us because we love referrals. This is the episode that you're going to want to listen to, flag, come back to, all of the good things. So without further ado, we're going to get into the episode. As always, if you have questions or you're not quite sure, or you want to kind of get a second opinion, our DMs are always open at MKW Creative Co. More than happy to communicate with you there. That's a great place to start. Also through our website, which we'll get into. But I want to use this episode to walk through the whole suite of our offerings in the same way that we interview a lot of our podcast guests. So I always ask, walk us through your service offerings from free to bite-size, signature to VIP. So we're going to start with free. You're already listening to one of them. Our free offerings are education pieces. So the podcast, we have a Facebook group called Kiss My Aesthetic. There's about 7,000 at the time of recording. About 7,000 members in this group. We share resources. We also will use this group to send clients that aren't a good fit for our team. So for whatever reason, if it's budget, timeline, or industry niche, and we don't think that we're the best fit for your project, we have a place to send you where there are tons and tons of very qualified, very talented designers to be able to step in and help. That being said, if you're really dead set on working with our team, there's a lot of different ways to do so. So beyond the free offer, which would be all of our social media, our podcast, our YouTube channel, and the Facebook group, the next step up is really our consulting sessions. So we help with consulting on a range of scope, I guess you could say. But the smallest one on that side would be our 90-minute consulting session, which would be with me. This is a 90-minute screen time, screen share, FaceTime call where we really put it all out on the table. So bring all of your business questions, bring all of your wish lists, all of your inspiration, your struggles, and we work through it together in a way that you can really take that recording and any of the assets that we create from that to create a game plan or plot out your rebrand or really just kind of get more clarity on the business. Again, been doing this 11 years now, so I do have some insights. And if the stuff that you're finding either from our website, from the podcast, is sparking more inspiration and you just kind of want more of that in-depth look at the business and the brand, that would be a great place to start. Oftentimes on that 90-minute consult, we will also send you the brand questionnaire. So our brand questionnaire is a really lengthy form that asks all kinds of questions about how to really position your business and how to think about who you're offering things to and how you're getting that message across. That's a really great resource. It's a Google Doc, so you're able to come back to it, edit it, rework it. Would really recommend that if you're trying to get that clarity or you're just the beginning of your business, that you start with that consulting session with the questionnaire. The other bite-sized offer that we have is more of a brand strategy session, and that's where we're definitely going to use the questionnaire, but this is a great option for someone who, again, is in the really beginning or the rebrand phase of their business, but they don't know if they're all the way ready to do branding just yet. So branding being our signature offering, right? The brand strategy session at the point of recording is about $1,200, $1,250, and that will get you kind of that first step of our process before moving forward. This is a really great option for someone who's definitely like looking to keep their budget in check as they start to launch and get to the place where they know that they want to do branding. It just might not be right now. We also allow you to credit this brand strategy session towards the balance of your branding. So you get that kind of first week in. This is the first week of our process anyway. That allows you to kind of use that as the leapfrog or the jumping off point to really get into branding. Which leads me, of course, drum roll, to our signature services. We are a brand design agency. It's what we love the most. It's what we do the best. And I really think it's what sets us apart from other agencies, either in our area or honestly anywhere. This is our secret sauce, and this is the thing that I love to do the most. So when it comes to branding, we even have options there. So we have two different branding packages. One is a mini brand design, and the other one is a full service brand design. And this is the most common question I get on discovery calls is like, how the heck am I supposed to know which one to choose? Because of course we want all the things, but do I really need it, right? So the way to think about the difference between our mini brand design and our full service brand design is that the analogy that I keep saying on these discovery calls is we're giving you the recipes and we're stocking your kitchen with ingredients. The difference is, do you want us to cook or would you like to cook? So the mini brand design scope is actually the same scope for the first 4 weeks of the full service brand design project. They're both identical. So the mini brand design, the deliverable, of course, is original, bespoke, amazing, bragworthy branding, logos, fonts, color system, styles, and your mission and vision statement refined. We may also, depending on the business, include illustration assets, pattern assets, stock photography, AI imagery, product mockups, if the brand calls for it. And I'll explain that in a second. So that's the mini brand design scope. And the turnover on that is you get all your assets into Canva, you get all your assets in Google Drive, including the original Illustrator source files. And we create for you what's called a one-pager cheat sheet. This is just a one-page, 8.5 by 11 that has your logos, your color codes, your mood board, your fonts, and any supporting collateral kind of mock-ups to the bottom. The idea being this is your reference card for any time that you're making anything on behalf of your brand. So this is your like go-to recipe, right? We put all your ingredients in your kitchen, in your Canva. This is your recipe card saying this is the header font, this is your body font, these are the 6 colors that we want you to use in the photography, and here are your logo assets, right? So this is the mini brand design scope. The client that's a best fit for the mini brand design scope is someone who has either previously DIY'd their branding, so they've never undergone branding before, or someone who's really trying to go fast. The best thing about this mini brand design scope is we quote it out as a 4-week project. We can usually get it done in about 2.5 weeks. The reason is because we design on what's called the one concept method. There's tons of podcast episodes about this. It's like, for me, the best process for getting to really great branding, which is we take all the information necessary from you, and then we present back to you a video that says, based on what you told us, here's what we think is the best path forward for your brand. So you can see tons of examples of these on our YouTube, on the website. Almost every portfolio project has the presentation video that we sent to the client originally. So those would be great to kind of study up on to get a sense for, again, the scope and what's involved. But really, the mini brand design option is meant to give you the vision of where to take the business, and then you can decide how much you want us to help you cook, right? So the difference between, again, mini brand design and full service brand design, on the full service side, we have the same 4 weeks as the mini, same presentation. The difference is in the execution. So on the execution side, we're showing you exactly this is how your social media pages should look. This is what your posts should look like. This is what your packaging should look like. Here's what your signage should look like. Here's what all your print materials and all of your merchandise should look like. And what we're giving you by the end of that is a big fat document that tells you everything, all the bits and pieces, all of the how-tos, all of the positioning and the design choices that were made in order to retain brand standards. The difference between this and the one-page brand guide is that the full-service multi-page brand guide's big old booklet is designed so that anyone who picks it up could figure out how this brand is supposed to function. So think about it as a resource to use in your onboarding if you're running a team, if you are hiring a web designer, if you are hiring someone to help you with paid ads. This is a resource that you would be able to send to them to say, hey, here's how the brand is supposed to be executed. And it'll have all the nitty gritty, all your color codes, including Pantone matching. It'll have all the links to all the templates that were created on behalf of your brand, from business cards to email signatures, etc. So that's really the juicier scope of work. And that's why the full service brand design option is an 8-week process. So again, branding, mini brand design is quoted out for 4 weeks. We can usually get it done in 2.5. The full service brand design package, we like to give it 8 weeks. We can usually get it done around 6 weeks. And that's because we're really going back and forth with you to make sure that your letterhead is perfect, your email design is perfect, your business card is perfect, right? We want to make sure that all of those bits and pieces are creating the consistency that your brand deserves. Do want to clarify on price point. There are obviously 2 different price points for these offerings as well. The first, the mini brand design, is going to start you anywhere from about $7,000 up to $12,000, depending on a few factors, depending on the type of business that you have, depending on the size of your team, depending on the visibility of the branding. So there's a lot of considerations that we take in. No 2 projects are exactly the same, but the range that you'll land in for the mini brand design scope is anywhere from 7 to 12. For the full service brand design scope, again, very much predicated on all of those same things: size of your business, the industry that you're in, the visibility of the branding, the size of your team. That project will run you anywhere from 12, 15, all the way up to 30,000. And the reason is because our team has not only experience doing these for a great deal of brands, but we want to make sure that that really is a comprehensive document that explains how everything works and that you're fully equipped with all the things that you need to make this brand run effectively. We also, for a lot of our full service brand design clients, they will opt in for additional consulting hours for outside partners. So if you want us to talk to the packaging printer, if you want us to talk to your signage guy or your website gal or anybody else who's touching the brand in a way, we're happy to do that, especially with that full service brand design offering, just because it's that extra insurance policy that everything is done the right way. So that's really our 2 big brand design packages. You have your mini brand design, your full service brand design. Depends on where you're at with your business and what you're looking for. Now, what we kind of call our VIP services, or our secret menu, so to speak. The reason these exist is because we're only going to really do these for brands that we have designed. So we have clients all the time reach out and ask like, hey, can you run my social? Hey, can you do this postcard? Hey, can you just do this one spin-off effort? And we usually say no. And the reason is we want to make sure that the ingredients that we're cooking with are the ones that we helped pick out. It's really can get into a little bit tricky water to start messing with brand designs outside of what we know to provide, right? So like we don't really ever want to be working with assets provided by another designer, just because it borders on making sure that we're giving you quality product. So quality input is quality output. And for us, if we're stocking the ingredients and we know these are the best tomatoes and the best pasta and the best proteins and everything like that, we know that the dish is going to turn out great. If we're working with assets that are provided that aren't super, super quality, the output that we're going to be able to produce is not going to be up to par, right? So really that's why those services are gate kept. It's very much on purpose. And we want to make sure that we have a really good in-depth understanding of your business. And that's what's coming about through the branding process, either working with us for 4 weeks or 8 weeks. We're doing the brand questionnaire. We're asking all the hard questions. We're doing the nitty gritty. And that's what really sets us up for success when it comes to our other offerings. Now, on the kind of like VIP side of the spectrum, we will help design anything that you can see, basically. So anything visual, we're pretty interested. So that could be from social media to merchandise design, packaging design, signage design, print, digital. If you can see it, we'll pretty much want to put our fingers on it. So think about it in this way. Let's first talk with print. Print design can be very laborious, but also very effective for branding. The way that we quote print design projects usually starts with whatever the source document is. So let's say you're a real estate group, for example, you have a buyer's guide and you have a seller's guide. We will come up with a proposal for you based on the content, the complexity, and the design of those materials. It's really important that you have the final copywriting done before you engage us for print design. So that's been a lesson we've had to learn like the hard way with a few clients, which is we really want to make sure that we have all of the final copy because that's what's going to have a domino effect on the design of the pages. So if you're this person who has a ton of resources, or maybe you have an ebook, you have a print magazine that you like to send out and you want our help, make sure you've got the copywriting on point for that to engage in print design. When it comes to packaging, same thing. It's very, very, very important that we have all of the copywriting, all of the registered symbols, that we have all of the necessary icons and all the bits and pieces that need to be on the packaging before we embark on the packaging project. So I've done this long enough that I feel like I can ask the right types of questions. We are not copywriters, remember, we are a design agency, so we will do the design part. But we can definitely help you get to that place where the packaging feels the way that it should. Right. So we've got experience with consumer-based packaging. We are now getting into more of the food and beverage space. We love doing packaging, but also with packaging, just like with print, the quotes and the proposals range greatly. And the reason for this is there are so many pieces that can go into packaging, right? You may have the vessel itself, you may have the exterior box, you may have the exterior box beyond that, you may have the mailer box, the PR box, the in-store display, the packaging activation. Like there may be a bajillion different pieces and parts for packaging. So it's really important that you have your budget in mind and that you also have that final copy and the number of pieces that you want designed before we quote out a packaging project. So that would be print, and that would be packaging. Signage is another great one. We love to design signage. We've done it for a few of the B&B properties that we've worked with, for the real estate groups, for all kinds of different businesses. Signage is a lot of fun, and we would love to work with you on your signage of your project. It is slightly different than the branding, although in a lot of cases we are using the logo, of course, for that exterior marketing. We really want to make sure that your signage does something special. And the other thing I'll kind of loop in with signage is any kind of like trade show, conference displays, the tablecloth, the banner, the takeaway materials, whatever that suite looks like. We want to make sure that we have a full understanding of the capacity of the brand to design that effectively instead of just plastering the logo all over everything, which is kind of like the tendency, right? It's like you definitely want to show your branding loud and proud, especially if you just invested in it. But there are ways to do smarter and more engaging signage and trade show displays that I think people are sleeping on. So I'll just kind of leave it at that. Again, depends on size of the venue, how many pieces you need, what complications or different materials or displays or activations that you need. But we love to do this. And we also love to do like gifting activations, event design. So photo drop banners, shopping events, shopping bags, takeaway cards, hang tags, like possibilities are endless. So that would be kind of your packaging, print, display, signage. Let's talk for a second, everyone's favorite subject, merch. We love to design merch, and we love to design merch that feels intentional and that feels like people want to wear it and they're not just getting, again, a shirt with a logo plastered on it. So if merchandise is part of your brand or part of your offering, or you want it to be, we have a lot of options for you there. The best place to really look at what we've been able to do is to go to the website and you click over to the portfolio and click on events and merch, and you'll really see the options. So when it comes to designing a merch suite, just know that we like to quote things based on, let's not have a bajillion products, but let's make anywhere from 6 to 8 products that are really going to resonate with your audience. And that could look like sourcing things from Alibaba. That could look like Redbubble or Printful as a print-on-demand service. That could look like doing a one-off limited edition. We're going to order 25 of this thing and sell it until they're gone. Effort for your business. It could also look like client gifting. So if you know that you want to have at the end of the year or at a new sign-on or at your anniversary party, that you want to have this like branded material, branded merch to give out to your top customers or top sellers, top agents, for example, we want to make sure we're having those conversations early because we want to create something for them, again, that's not junk for junk's sake, but is actually things that reflect the mission and values of your company and what you bring to the world, right? So that would be another possibility for how to work with us. Now, I've left the best and the juiciest for last, which is social media management. I believe that our team is particularly talented and particularly wonderful at doing social media management for brands. We've been doing it together as a team for about the last 4 years now, and we have a super, super slick, super plan in advance, organized, wonderful way of creating original content for our clients that I think is delicious, especially for the price point. And here's what I want to explain that I've had this conversation a lot recently with people who are considering us and considering other agencies. The difference between hiring a true social media management agency versus a design and marketing agency is that we have the skill set that most social media agencies do not have. So what we are secretly, amazingly good at, if I do say so myself, is finding ways to make something out of nothing. We have a lot of really creative ideas and we have a lot of ways to reinvigorate and rework your content to make it engaging, to make it brag-worthy, and to actually leave a really quality impression on your ideal audience. Into 2025, we will be changing up how we bill for social media projects. Part of this is because we don't know what's going to happen with the TikTok ban at the time of recording this episode. Who knows if we'll even be talking about TikTok in a year from now. And also, there are apps that go down, like Facebook and Instagram were out for multiple hours one of the days last week. Audiences change. Reality is there's not such a clear cut and dry, oh, you must do this platform to reach your people. And what we're learning is a lot of the businesses that we're working with, they all need something slightly different. Because we are an agency that prides ourselves in being all the places, obviously, podcast, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, all the things. We also want to make sure that we're offering that same style approach, that omnipresent approach to the brands that we work with, obviously within reason. So what you'll see from a social media proposal from us is your proposal broken out into different categories of hours. So we have strategy hours, which are different than design hours, which are different than implementation hours. And in that, we can create for you a package based on what we think you need most and what's going to get you the best ROI. So by structuring it this way, we actually put more of kind of the control and the steering of the ship back to our clients to say, okay, I really want to focus on building this audience or these two audiences or these three platforms instead of what we were doing previously, which is this is our rate for Instagram, this is our rate for TikTok, this is our rate for Pinterest, Facebook, etc. As audiences change and evolve and grow, we are always encouraging our clients to step into new spots, establish their brand, really get that connection with their audience going. And I think that locking into one platform has been somewhat limiting for us. So we really want to make sure that we are giving you those choices. So for example, if TikTok does in fact go away, we can really easily pivot to say, okay, now we're going to create content for YouTube Shorts, or now we're going to focus on creating content for Pinterest. And maybe the Pinterest goes really well for a while, and then we circle back to Instagram and Facebook communities, or Threads, or email, or LinkedIn. Basically, the world becomes your oyster, and we talk more from a strategic standpoint on where those focus areas are going to be. So in 2025, those social media contracts will be 90-day proposals. So they'll be a quarter at a time, so 3 months at a time, which allows us to really sink our teeth into something, but look at the analytics and find the ROI of the effort that we're putting in to make sure that you're getting the most out of it, but also that we are planting the seeds for that long-term growth and that long-term vision. So that would be our social media offerings. If you're interested in working with us, again, you got to go through branding first. So do not pass go. Do not collect $200. If you're listening to this and you're an existing client and you're like, shoot, Michelle, I need that. Gimme, definitely don't hesitate to reach out, because once you're in our system, once you're in our family, so to speak, you're in it for good. And we'd love to be able to work with you again. So that would be our social media services for 2025. And then last, but certainly not least, and this is the download, this is the exclusive, is we are starting to get back into website design. So I used to offer website design 2017, 18, 19. Squarespace design was kind of a hack at it, to be honest. I knew enough to be dangerous, but didn't have enough of the support and the team and the timelines and the structure to really execute on the websites to the degree that we knew that they could be. And I want to preface this by saying the kind of websites that our team wants to design in 2025 are meant to be a stepping stone. So these are going to be your 5-page Squarespace service-based website that execute on your branding in a way that you're proud to show it off. What we were noticing is a lot of our clients were struggling to find a website designer that was affordable for the deliverables, that also understood the vision of the brand. And because we end up doing so much of the discovery work with our clients, it felt like a really natural extension to bring that experience into Squarespace website design. So if that's of interest to you, please don't hesitate to bring it up. We will only be taking on a select few website projects until we really get our process nailed down, which means we're also offering them at a hugely discounted rate based on market standards. So get in on the ground floor is the suggestion on that front, on the website front, which really just kind of rounds out all of our services. So we went all the way from free to bite-sized to signature to VIP, those free offers being the podcast, the Facebook group, any of our socials really, to take advantage of what we've learned and ask questions. Our DMs are open. Don't hesitate to reach out, really. I truly love talking about branding and helping people in that way. To me, it really lights me up. So those are the free offers. We'll always be here as a resource. Bite-size offers, that would be your consulting session and your brand strategy session. Consulting sessions at $450 an hour, and then the brand strategy at $1250 plus. Asterisk. Depends on availability. So those allow you to really get the game plan and set the foundation if you're knowing that you want to work with us, but you just don't know how to just yet, or you're just getting started, or you want to kind of space out the scope of work instead of get it all done super quickly. Beyond that, branding, mini brand design package, anywhere from $7,000 to $12,000 is going to be your investment on that. That is a 4-week process. You get all of the assets and the brand guide cheat sheet. Then the next step up from that, full service brand design, anywhere from $12,000 up to $30,000, $35,000 on the high end, depending on size of the business, application of the branding, size of the team, and just the general visibility of where all of that branding is going to go, right? So that would be on the higher end of the spectrum. For the full service brand design, the turnover there is going to be all of the assets as well as the multi-page brand guides, which is your big fat Bible, your big recipe book for how the whole brand is supposed to come together. Beyond that, once you've done branding with us, you kind of unlock what we call our secret menu. So this would be merch design, print design, conference design, signage, packaging, social media, and website. Lots of things. And that should pretty much do it. I'm not going to say that we're going to stick our flag in the ground and say that's the only thing that we're doing in 2025. We don't know what the future holds, of course. So if you think of something else that you want to do with us, or hey, one thing I didn't mention, if you want to sponsor the podcast, that's also an opportunity for you. We sell different sponsorship packages to be able to plug your business. We'll record an ad, we'll create some social media content, and you'll be able to get into everyone's ears via me, via our ad record. So if that's of interest to you, please don't hesitate to reach out because we'd love to entertain that as well. Cheers to a really great 2025, everyone. It's been exciting to bring you on this journey. I hope that if you're a possible client listening to this, that this answered some of your questions. Of course, our contact form, mkwcreative.co/contact would be the way to submit your project. And looking forward to working with you all. Cheers. Have a good one. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you love this podcast, please send it to a friend, leave us a review, join us in the Facebook group. Catch you next time. Bye.